And Wall Street ended mostly flat on Tuesday as investors monitored rising U.S. Treasury yields and reviewed corporate earnings reports. The Dow and the S&P 500 saw little change, while the Nasdaq edged up slightly.
Wall Street's main indexes ended mostly flat on Tuesday, while investors kept an eye on U.S. Treasury yields and sorted through more corporate earnings. The Dow and S&P 500 ended little changed, while the Nasdaq added nearly 0.2%. Yields on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note climbed above 4.2%, hovering at levels not seen in 3 months as investors reassessed expectations for the Federal Reserve's trajectory of rate cuts. Ben McMillan, Chief Investment Officer and co-founder at IDX Advisors, said he believes the $35 trillion national debt is also weighing on investors.
The markets are sending a message that the U.S.'s fiscal debt position, both the fiscal deficits as well as the long-term debt position, is not tenable, and the bond vigilantes, so to speak, are pushing back. And I think stocks are, starting to digest that. Obviously, we're coming into an earnings season, and this is against the backdrop of the so-called soft landing, which looks like it's going to, looks like the Fed is going to pull it off. But again, we've been saying for a long time that comes at a cost. And that cost is, record, fiscal deficits, which, by the way, don't look like they're going to decrease anytime soon, irrespective of who's in the White House.
The next few weeks are likely to be volatile for equity markets as investors scrutinize company earnings, fresh economic data, and the results of the U.S. election, followed by a central bank meeting. In earnings news, shares of Verizon fell 5% as the telecom giant missed estimates for third-quarter revenue. 3M shares slipped more than 2%, reversing pre-market gains, despite raising the low end of its full-year adjusted profit forecast. Shares of General Motors jumped nearly 10% after the automaker's third-quarter results beat Wall Street estimates. And shares of McDonald's plunged in after-hours trading following a report from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control saying 10 people have been hospitalized and 1 older person in Colorado has died after E. coli infections linked to the fast food chain's Quarter Pounder hamburger in 10 states.